What is up, guys? It is your boy Jay here from the Movie Minute. I am here with
Chantel.
and I'm doing a review for The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim. He hasn't seen it. If I get the money at some point, it'll be out on digital on Friday, so maybe he'll watch it then. But, okay, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. You may be wondering, what is this? Never heard of it. That's Warner Brothers' fault. They didn't market it. It was an anime standalone story set 183 years before the Lord of the Rings trilogy, in the land of the Rohirrim, or Rohan. It's not a great anime, and it's not a great Lord of the Rings film, but when I say that, understand that that's a pretty high bar to meet, considering Lord of the Rings trilogy, like one of the greatest film trilogies of all time.
For sure.
I would say the only reason why I would say it's not even really like as good as the first two Hobbit films is because of the fact that there's just a certain gravitas, like a sense of scale that all of the live action movies have managed to do that animated doesn't really quite work well as with. I also kind of blame them for fast tracking this movie and not really giving it the proper time to be developed. In a way of being able to get that sense of scale. I think if they had had the time to do so, they probably would have gotten a better sense of the themes, the writing, and all of that down. It's still an enjoyable film. I still enjoyed spending 2 hours watching that than I did Craven, the ADR Hunter. That's a little joke for the sound people. But I enjoyed seeing it in IMAX. I like the score of it. The writing could have been better, but it was fine for being a film that had no reason to be made in the first place. For the anime fans, I say it's not a great anime because it has the quality of animation, kind of like the direct to video, like DC animated films that have come out over the years, and not so much like anime always has these moments where they let their animators shine, I guess. As someone who's never really watched much of it, to like just go ham on the animation. And there's no moments like that. But it's still a solid film. Personally, as someone who enjoys Lord of the Rings content and who's also enjoyed The Rings of Power, even if some people don't like that as much, it was like a 3.5 out of 5 for me.
For sure. So I got a question for you. So you mentioned
Yeah.
the gravitas of the Peter Jackson movies. So do you think this movie would have been more well received if people actually like knew about it? Do you think like people are just not interested in like this world or this lore, or like what are your thoughts on that?
I think if they had marketed it better, like, or even at all, because I mean, the only reason they had one trailer and then they had the 8 minute, thing that we watched on the channel, which you can go watch if you don't want to watch the movie. But I don't know. It's one of those weird things. It's like almost the entire film, I kept thinking to myself, why didn't they just make this the live action?
You
Because,
think maybe the
like, the flair
budget,
of it.
or maybe like you could do more things, of course, in a fictional realm like that with animation that you can in live action, or maybe Peter Jackson didn't get back on board.
So they had the person who they had directed was a Japanese company that was like directing and all this. The guy whose name I can't pronounce. All I know is that he did do he's directed stuff like the Ghost in the Shell anime.
Okay, the original one.
Yeah, like
Okay.
standalone complex. And then he directed a few things on Netflix recently. I don't remember exactly what. I mean, Peter Jackson helped produce some of it. As far as budget goes, it was only like a $30 million budget, which is pretty good for animation. I don't really think that was my problem because I think they can do a lot more overseas. Like they've found a way to make really good animation for less. I just think they weren't given enough time to fully produce something. Because here's the thing: the only reason this came out when it did, and why it was so fast tracked, why it was like they announced it and then they started filming it, was because they wanted to be able to secure the rights for the Tolkien estate because they were going to lose them if they didn't put something out in theaters.
One of those again.
Granted, again, it could have been a lot worse of a product to be fast tracked. Just don't know, like, if I like. There was epic moments in it where I was like, "This is crazy for a PG-13 animated film." Like, it was violent in parts, but the overall story's good. I just think it could have been better.
Okay, for sure.
At least it didn't feel like a book being stretched into 3 films.
So it's worth for me to watch it on Friday if you get it.
Yes, it's worth the watch. Know that you will never see Craven the Hunter because I will never buy it,
Yeah.
which is fine. But let me know if you saw it in theaters or if you're going to rent it or buy it on digital and what you thought of it, because I am genuinely curious to think what other people thought. My buddies went and saw it in theaters. They actually had a chance to go and they enjoyed it, and they're like huge Middle Earth fans. So,
Okay.
but they also liked every single ounce of Rings of Power, which I don't agree with, but you know.
Yeah, I stopped watching that.
But let us know what you thought, and we will see you back here again for another video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, which I will have popping up here, and click the notification bell so that way anything that comes out from us will be on your channel and notify you. And we will see you again on our road to 500 subscribers. We're almost there.
Almost, man.
We just got to get people to watch longer, and we'll be able to start selling merch. But until next time, guys, it's been your boy Jay.
Chantel.
And we will see you next time.